We've been in an era of engine downsizing, in case you hadn't noticed, and it seems with every new generation of cars, we get smaller capacity engines boosted by turbos. Mazda has avoided this trend, and in fact when it updated its CX-3 compact crossover last autumn for a midlife facelift, it actually added a larger diesel. So, has this rival to the Nissan Juke and Peugeot 2008, which has always been more focused on driver enjoyment, been able to stay fresh? Well, I'll tell you what, if nothing else, it's certainly still one of the best looking crossovers out there. So, starting with the cabin, it's very clear that the CX-3 has Mazda 2 DNA, with a simplified dashboard layout that's, well, quite dull and dark, some might say. It's got a drastic mix of soft touch and scratchy materials. It's certainly no chic Citroen C3 Aircross, but it is well screwed together, it's clean cut, it's quite sporty, and, well, it's very Mazda. Another thing that's very Mazda is the kit, with all models being very generously equipped. You get the likes of aircon, DAB radio, Bluetooth, and you get this 7-inch touchscreen with sat-nav as standard. Now, I don't know if it's the graphics or the size of the screen or a bit of both, but this screen just feels a bit dated. But one thing you cannot fault is its user friendliness and intuitiveness. It's just so easy to use, and a big factor of that is this rotary dial down here, which is just brilliant. It's just so easy to use, and in my opinion, in terms of ingenuity, it's second only to BMW's iDrive system. Now, those of you who want a bit of luxury can go for the flagship Sport Nav Plus trim, which is what we've got. And the big addition of that trim is these part leather seats, which are very, very nice. Practicality in here, again, its super mini roots are evident, with limited door bin space and a rather cramped center console, but this isn't uncommon in crossovers. Now, not to go on about its small car personality, but in the rear seats is where it's evident more than anywhere else. So first off, you've got this slightly intrusive lip on the roof here when you're climbing in, and once you're back here, you can just feel its small car personality. There's just enough legroom and just enough headroom, and in fact, the added headroom over the Mazda 2 is why you end up getting this slightly intrusive roof here. I mean, it's not uncomfortable by any means. It's very easy to get comfortable. It's just clearly intended for kids and teenagers. I certainly wouldn't want to spend a long time traveling back here, especially with these small windows. It's much of the same in the boot, with a narrow Super Mini-esque opening and quite a high load lift, but the rear seats do fold down nice and flat, and thanks to this adjustable boot floor, you do get a nice smooth run right to those back seats for longer objects. Now, with the seats in place, there's up to 350 litres of storage space, which is almost 100 litres bigger than its Mazda 2 counterpart. Actually, hang on, not necessarily, because if you go for this flagship Sport Nav Plus model, you get the built-in Bose sound system, which is great, but it is under this boot, which will cost you 63 litres of storage space. So yeah, that's worth bearing in mind. So, let's cut to the chase. Mazdas are well known for being sporty and fun to drive. Is the CX-3 sporty and fun to drive? Well, in short, yes it is. It maintains the fun feel of the Mazda 2 Super Mini and even has elements of the MX-5 sports car. Think of it as a slightly taller Mazda 2, but in comfort mode. I mean, the steering's nice and light and very sharp and accurate, and the suspension offers a nice balance between comfort and agility, being slightly on the firmer side, but all the better for it. I mean, crossovers do have a tendency to just offer the same vanilla drive, but the CX-3 definitely stands out, and I've got to mention this very nice 6-speed manual gearbox, which is just a pleasure to use in any Mazda. Now, this 1.8 litre Skyactiv D diesel with 115 horsepower replaces the old 105 horsepower 1.5 litre unit. And I should mention that this diesel is only available on the top spec model. And based on performance alone, it is very clear that this diesel is the more sensible and fuel efficient engine in the range, with power being a little underwhelming, should we say, and acceleration being a bit reluctant. I mean, when you put your foot down, you can feel where a turbocharger should be kicking in. In fact, this excellent 6-speed manual gearbox does make this diesel a bit more manageable. But what about those all-important fuel economy figures? Well, Mazda claims an average of around 54 miles per gallon, and if you drive this diesel like it wants to be driven, then yeah, that is totally achievable, especially if you do a lot of motorway miles. And with CO2 of 114 grams per kilometre, you're looking at a 30% BIK tax rate for 2019 and 2020. So, what is our verdict on the Mazda CX-3? Well, put it this way, a few years ago, crossovers felt like they were copy and pasted versions of each other. Very few offered distinct personalities, and even fewer offered well-rounded practical packages. But over the last few years, manufacturers have cottoned onto that. Most crossovers now offer either memorable, quirky personalities, or solid, well-calculated amounts of kit and space, or sometimes even both. Now the CX-3 feels like it belongs to that slightly older breed of crossovers. Yes, it's still got a distinctive sporting personality, but practicality feels like a bit of an afterthought. But hang on a second, people don't necessarily buy a Mazda to have a well-rounded package. That's what the likes of Skoda and Honda are for. People buy a Mazda because they want that sporting personality. And the CX-3 definitely delivers on that. It's why people have continued to buy the fun but ludicrously impractical MX-5 all these years. But buying a CX-3 diesel, yeah, that's a bit different. Sure, if you've got your heart set on a CX-3 and you really want low running costs, then yeah, go for it, go for the diesel. But I wouldn't.